Hi guys, in today's video, you're gonna learn how to create an exit intent pop-up in WordPress. And this type of pop-up is one that gets triggered when someone tries to leave the page. And by the way, I'll be leaving a link to the documentation for this tutorial in the description down below. Alright, so in WordPress, we'll start by hovering over mail opt-in and we'll go to opt-in campaigns. Now we'll add a new campaign. Next, we'll need to name our campaign, so I'll call it exit just to keep it simple. And the next thing I'm gonna do is select from one of these templates. Alright, so here we have our template and we can go ahead and make design changes by going through this menu on the left, or we can simply click on any of the elements on the pop-up itself and you'll see its customization options on the left. So for example, under design, you can change the width of your pop-up or maybe add a display effect. Here's a flash, there's a bounce. You can also change your image, background color and border color, or add custom CSS. And basically any element you click on will open its associated menu. Now each element also gives you the option to hide it, so to hide this note, I can simply go ahead and toggle this switch. Over here we have input fields and a subscribe button. I'll customize this one really quickly so you can see. Let's make it red. Alright, that's fine. And maybe we can also change the button's font. So by the way, by default, we have a name and email field, but if you want to collect more information, you can always go ahead and add a custom field. Simply click on this button, name your field and customize it. But for our demonstration, we'll just be using the default fields. I'll go ahead and delete this. Okay, now we'll go back to the main menu and we'll move to configuration. So I just want to make sure that this option is on. We'll keep the default values for the other options, but in your case, you can go ahead and make those changes. Now moving on to the integrations tab, the first option you'll see is turned off by default, but if you turn it on, all of your subscribers will be saved as mail opt-in leads only. I'll keep it off and I'll go to new integration, and from the drop-down menu, I'll select MailerLite as my CRM or email marketing software. And the email list will be tutorials. Now, if you add custom fields, you can click on the Map Custom Fields button, and that will open up a menu where you can go ahead and do your mapping. Again, since we don't have custom fields, I'll click on this X to close it. All right, now I'll go back and we'll move to after conversion. So by default, our success action is to display a success message. However, you have the option to select a different action from this list. This is our opt-in success message. It says thanks for subscribing, but I'll make a small change to this to make it say thanks for subscribing to our newsletter. And if you want, you can also configure your autoresponder, which sends an automatic email to your subscribers. Here you'll be able to enter the content for your email, and you can turn it on by toggling this switch. Be sure to save your changes once you're done. If you want to receive an email notification every time you get a new lead, simply enter the email address you want the email notification to go to in this field. Alright, so we're done with after conversion, so we can go back to our main menu. Now, we'll go to display rules, then page targeting. So once the first option is on, your opt-in can be shown on every single page. We can also choose to display it on the front page, archive, and search pages, or maybe on specific pages, post categories, tags, or post types. And right below, you can choose where you don't want your opt-in to show up. And that includes posts, categories, pages, and custom post types. Now, in addition to page targeting, you can also configure user targeting. And this is where you can choose exactly who you want to show your opt-in to. If you want to limit your opt-in to specific devices, you can use device targeting, but we'll keep the default options for this demonstration. All right, now the next step is to choose a trigger for your opt-in. And there are a number of options, but today we'll be using exit intent. So all we need to do is turn it on. Okay, so we can go back to our main menu. And by the way, you can feel free to explore all of the additional options here. Now, I'm going to just quickly touch on schedule just to let you know that if you want to turn your opt-in on or off between certain times, you can go ahead and configure these settings. All right, now since we're done, we're going to save our changes. And be sure to toggle this switch to turn your opt-in on. Alright, now we can close this configuration page to go ahead and test our opt-in. We can now visit our site in a new incognito window, or since I'm using the Arc browser, I can go ahead and open it in Little Arc, and that's basically opening the site in a new small window, and that will make it easier to see the exit intent. Okay, so watch what happens when I move my cursor to the X in the top left-hand corner. So here's our pop-up. Now let's follow through to the end. Let's go ahead and subscribe. I'll enter some random details, click on subscribe now, and we should see our success message. Now let's see if we can find this lead in MailerLite. I'll close this, head over to MailerLite, and I'll need to get off this integrations page and go to subscribers on the left. And in subscribers, if we take a look at the first item at the top, we'll see the email for the lead that we just entered in our opt-in. Alright, so this is how you create an exit intent pop-up in WordPress. Thanks for watching and see you next time.